good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Welcome to Tea Time. It is the last Monday in 2024. It's December 30th. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick and get to my guest because I'm so excited she's here. Friday I didn't do much. Nah, just stayed home, chilled, relaxed. Saturday I went to my girlfriend Doreen's house in Mineola and hung out there with her cousin who came in from Vegas. And then she said, come back tomorrow. So I went back yesterday for brunch and I ended up staying all day and all night, and we had pizza, and it was so much fun. And of course I did laundry before I went there because Sunday's laundry day and football, and the Bills won. Buffalo Bills won. All right, let me get to my in-studio guest because she was here last year, and I'm so excited. End of the year with my girl, Kristen Tinsley. Yeah. She's a psychic medium. She's a stand-up comedian. She's a certified holistic nutritionist, a transformational spiritual life coach, and author.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And she's my friend.
Yes.
And we met, how many years is it now? It's like 7 or 8.
Is
it 7?
I think it's 8 years.
It's like 7 or 8 years we met each other at a bar, and people were doing open mic there, and she's like, I think I want to do stand-up comedy.
I don't know what possessed me to do that. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't regret it. I don't regret one second
it took
of
you
taking
on
that
a
leap
crazy
of faith.
journey.
It certainly did.
It did, but just to tell everyone real quick, you're originally from Levittown. You're
Yes.
a Long Island girl.
I'm a Levittown girl.
Yes, you are, and went to Division Avenue High School there.
Class of 99, baby.
Yep, and then you went on to study actually film and video production and try to get into the arts. But today, let's talk about what you're doing today, because you were born with a gift.
Yes.
And you kind of not ignored it, but you kind of like put it on the back burner a little bit. You didn't embrace it the way you were embracing it today.
I think that a lot of people, that's a fantasy when a lot of other people will say, like, I embraced it, because there was never I saw spirits my whole life. Like, I've come to the conclusion at the age that I am now that I was put through the school of the hard knocks to learn everything, that it wasn't just going to be, okay, we're going to show you the spirit world. We're going to show you ghosts. We're going to do all this crazy stuff to you. It was like, no, we're going to implant a lot of lessons that you need to learn, so that when you finally answer the calling, because believe me, if you don't, it gets very intense.
Right.
That we're giving you the knowledge that you can help people that have gone through the same things that you've gone through.
Yeah.
So any path that I've chosen in my life, any course of study, anything that I pay attention to closely becomes a part of me. And then I meet those people that'll say, hey, I'm going through this. And I'm like, oh, spirit, all right, give me the information. Show me what I need to see about this situation so I can help this person.
Right.
But it's also a toolbox within me that I'll know intuitively when somebody has something going on, or they'll trigger an image in my mind and be like, hey, remember that time you were in that really terrible relationship, or, remember that time you were having this hard decision doing this? Like, how did you get out of this?
Right.
Because
right.
not only just being a psychic, being a medium is not just about having that gift. You have to, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of healing, there's a lot of stuff that comes along with it. It's not just about, hey, I'm gifted, I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm whatever, come listen to what I have to say. No, you have to go through some battles to get there.
Yeah.
So, and hey, I'm happy to go first, you know.
Yeah,
I'm happy to go first.
no.
Yeah.
So what exactly is a medium for people who really don't know what a medium is?
Okay.
Because, you know, we see stuff on TV and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's always a stigma around the word psychic medium, because people automatically revert back to what they know. So they know the Miss Cleos, they know the Theresa Caputos, they know the John Edwards, they know, a bunch of other people, Tyler Henry, who happens to be my favorite. They know a bunch of, of those people.
Yeah.
And they see them on TV and they see them communicating with the other side. Or they're saying things like, your grandmother is here. And she's telling me this about you and she wants you to know this. That's a medium.
Right.
So someone that is actually able to access the spiritual realm to channel messages from spirit through my heart to your heart is what I always say.
Right.
Because it has to come through me in order for you to be able to hear it. And that could come in many different ways. It could come through automatic writing. It could come through reading an oracle card. It could come through just out of my mouth, or I'll see a sign or something, or they'll see a sign or something. It depends on how you ask for that information. So a medium receives information and a psychic perceives information.
Okay.
So they can perceive things about people, but they may or may not be getting messages from a spirit guide, an ascended master, an angel, or a crossed over loved one. So that's where there's that difference that comes in there.
So is there like a general question that people ask you when they get read?
Is my ex coming back?
Oh.
He is, but just not in the way that you want him to, girl. So it depends on the person. Like I could write a book about the time, maybe I should.
Yes.
Another
book.
About the types of people who come to me and the types of readings that they look for. I usually ask them, what type of reading are you looking for? Because it involves a different level of consciousness.
Right.
Where if it's a medium, I'm out.
Right.
Like my ego, all of that, everything, every part of me is just steps aside.
Yeah.
But if it's a psychic question, I have to be present in the moment to be able to connect with this person. But I'm still getting messages from the other side, but I'm still dealing with them on a one-on-one level. So if they come and they say to me, well, I want to know about my job, I want to know about my marriage, I want to know about my relationship, my kids.
Right.
A lot of people want to know about their kids' health. Yeah, health is a big one.
Yeah.
Not every reader out there is a health reader.
Right.
Where because you would be nervous to say, maybe you might want to go to, the doctor because you're having a problem with your esophagus. I'm not reading you.
But she is.
But I am.
But she
so
is,
I guess,
because I do have a problem.
Right.
That's crazy.
I
know. I just went for an endoscopy. Yeah.
Right.
I know.
But
and I don't tell her.
You don't tell me everything.
I don't tell her everything. I'll tell her some things, but not everything. But you pick up on stuff, and
it'll just fall out.
Yeah,
It'll just come out.
Yeah.
And then but your spirit guides or a crossed over loved one is not going to have a problem coming through and saying, hey, you need to go get your esophagus checked out.
Right.
Or even further, and you need a different doctor.
Right.
You need this type of specialist.
Right.
Maybe you need to stop eating this food.
Right.
To stop that. Like spirit can do that.
Yeah.
It's not just about proving that the other side exists. So are there people that come that are very curious? Oh, I just want to know who's around
Skeptical?
me. Right. So of course, and that's a very natural thing to have. I get very skeptical when I walk into a store and I think to myself, can I try on a size 6? Like I know, right? I know. But I still might try anyway.
Right.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Just to see what comes out, and just whatever, So, but people ask, all kinds of questions. Sometimes people will say, listen, I need to speak to my mother. I need to find out information about a person. Sometimes people will come to me missing objects, missing people, they want an answer to a question as to
Or
how
not
someone
knowing
died.
maybe their family medical history or
Right. Well, yeah, that could be a little iffy, but
Yeah.
it, and listen, that's where a lot of, even on my end,
Yeah.
where the skepticism could come in, because I'm like, okay, if you don't know your family, and sometimes people do come to me and say, well, I never met my grandfather, but I want to communicate with him. I know he's passed over, I want to communicate with them.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best, write it down, record it,
Yeah.
and see if there's somebody in the family that can back up what I'm saying. But the person is never without. They'll know vibrationally if what I'm telling them resonates or not. You could just, I mean, I could tell you, hey, your family's from Poland. I see a bunch of Polish people. They all played, baseball on ice back in the day. Right now that I'm not telling you the truth.
Right.
Because it doesn't resonate with you.
Right.
And you're sitting there, but I'm Italian.
Right.
So,
So, is a medium reading the same as tarot reading?
I do both.
Yeah, no, I know you do.
Yeah,
both.
no, I do both. But a tarot card reading is reading the energies of the people, places, and things around a person. So if somebody were to come to me and say, the famous question, is my ex coming back? I'm going to pull cards.
Who wants their ex back? They're an ex for a reason, no?
Exactly. But a lot of
Hello?
people, when you're heartbroken,
Yeah, I know.
you want,
We all go through.
right, you want those answers. But it's funny because tarot will start from the very beginning of the story and show you all of the energies.
Yeah.
But my concern and Spirit's concern is, how is that person and
Right.
situation going to affect you in the future? What is it, by you staying stuck on this, what are you actually manifesting?
Okay.
So sometimes you'll hear, oh, your ex is coming back.
Yeah.
But it's not the actual ex, it's
You know,
the energy that's
you
coming
mentioned
back.
manifesting. Talk about, because I know you and I have discussed this, but how important is manifesting?
It's just as important as brushing your teeth. And today is the new moon. It is the second new moon of the month. We call it, this month it's the black moon. It's in Capricorn. So wherever Capricorn falls in your chart, but you could also use, Capricorn energy, which is very focused, very grounded, very hardworking type of energy. It's manifesting is so important, but especially if you're going to do it tonight.
What is manifesting?
Okay, so
What is it?
manifesting.
And how do you do it?
Is visualizing what you want, where you want to go, everything you want to, visualizing it.
Meaning visualizing it actually happening?
It's already happened.
Okay.
Not happening. It's already happened.
Okay.
Because when the human mind thinks of something that's happening, it kind of puts that level of doubt. Right?
Yeah.
This is happening to me.
Right.
No,
So
it's
you wanna-
happening for you.
Okay.
Because you already are. So the most powerful key to unlock the door to manifesting is the word I am.
I
am. You already are.
Okay.
Because some people are like, well, I have to take this course, or I have to do this first.
Right.
Or I have to do that first.
Right.
Let the universal energies deal with that.
Okay.
Because what you want already exists out there.
Right.
Somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
So, and somebody else already created it. There's a space open for you right now.
Yeah.
To be where you want to be.
Yeah.
So if you are visualizing it happening, and you're holding that vision in your mind, okay? Like I said, I want to have my own talk show. Where am I? I am in a studio where they do talk shows. Yes, I knew I was going to be here.
Right.
But I'm taking the intended action to actually be in a television studio where they do talk shows.
Right.
And I'm on your talk show. And I didn't plan on coming on here. We had that conversation. And it's because I'd already had that in my mind.
Yeah.
So you have to visualize it and then kind of put yourself where you want to be.
Right.
Envision it happening. And that can happen with anything in your life. Anything.
Yeah.
Including weight loss.
That's good to know. All right, we're going to take my first break.
Yes.
Don't go away. We'll be back after this. More with Kristen Tinsley.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. So glad you're joining me for the last Monday of 2024. Yeah, we're gonna go to that first pick. Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen Tinsley, now the divine comedian.
Psychic medium, Kristen Tinsley. I love
Listen,
that.
her.
I made
So,
that.
how did you come up with divine comedian?
All right.
Thank you.
So it was actually like implanted in my brain for my 40th birthday, aka my 20th birthday.
Yeah.
I was coming. I was like I always do. I always do comedy shows for my birthday.
Yes.
Since I started
Yeah,
comedy,
yeah.
you know, you just do a birthday
Every
show. It's
year,
fun.
yeah.
It's entertaining, and why not? It
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
everybody all together in the same
Yeah.
room. So that was actually when I started to come out more as a medium. I was already doing jokes about what it was
Right.
like to be a psychic medium.
Right. Yes.
But I wanted to really make it official, and I got a download. A spiritual download is like an implantation of a thought
Right.
in your mind.
Right. I've gotten.
So I
I've
literally
gotten
heard that. Yes,
I got
and
that from
that's-
Betsy.
Right. And that's something that you need to take action on. That's that aha moment. That's that, oh, this clicks. Oh, I didn't think that it could work like that.
Yep.
And then that's part of your
Right,
manifestation
right.
happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had already started telling jokes about being a psychic medium.
You did.
But I wasn't connecting the dots as to actually making it into like an official show.
Right.
So, and then I just heard, no, you're the divine comedian. Divine feminine, medium, comedian. And I was like.
All in one.
All in one. And I
It's
was
great.
like, all right, great. Like, perfect. So that's how it actually
And then
started.
the next pick is actually you, I think, doing a reading.
Oh, yes. That was,
So
yeah.
tell me about that, because you do one-on-one readings, you do group
Gallery readings, fundraisers,
Yeah.
shows. Yeah. So that was actually at a VFW hall right around the corner, actually, over here.
Thank you.
For the Ladies Auxiliary. And there was 110 people in that room.
Wow.
And I was right in the middle.
Is that the most you've ever?
No, I mean, I've read
done
in front of
bigger
bigger,
venues,
yeah,
yeah.
I've definitely, I mean, 120 people, but even 50, 60, 75 people is a lot.
I was going to say, the more people, do you find it overwhelming? Because there's, you know, it's just so much, there might be a whole ton of spirits there for everybody.
I mean, there
or-
is, but not all of them are going to be able to get to me in the way, I mean, that would just be so overwhelming. And God bless anyone that has that very strong gift.
Yeah.
But I have a way of just kind of, because I'm naturally a person who's kind of guarded.
Right.
So I don't and I'm also a free spirit. I'm a Sag. I like to do my own thing. So naturally my personality is to be a little guarded and to
Right.
kind of block people out.
Okay.
So I just naturally have that defense where I'm not being bombarded with all of this stuff.
Right.
I'm going to focus on who I'm supposed to focus on.
What do you prefer? Do you have like a preference?
I love to do gallery readings. I love
do.
to get up there.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I was by myself. I didn't have anybody with me. I didn't have any other comics with me. I didn't have anybody with me.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, because I met this woman at a psychic fair. I had my own tent. I was outside.
Yeah.
It was a market. I did a reading for her, and she saw that I was divine comedian. She asked me what it was.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, we need entertainment for the VFW. I think you'd
That's
be perfect."
great.
Yeah. So I was
That's
like,
it.
all right.
And that's how it works.
Yep, that's how it works.
That's how it works. And the next pick, I want to talk about the guide. Can we talk about the guide, which she's going to put up?
It's a journal, yeah.
That's the journal, but let's talk about it. Thank you. Okay, so we have it here. So tell everyone what that is. It says Messages from Spirit.
A psychic medium's journal. Okay.
Right.
So
And this came to you also.
Yes, this came to me in a way that I went to college for writing. I've always wanted to publish books. I've always wanted to, do that. But as I started to develop my gift back then, I realized that a lot of the stuff that I was writing were actually predictions. So I thought,
Wow.
yep, I thought that what I was writing were stories.
So you didn't realize that at the moment?
No. And then I looked, and then it would happen, and I would be like, oh, somebody stole my idea. And I harped on that like forever. Like there were movies that came out that I was writing, and then they would come out like a year later.
Right.
And I would be like, wait a minute.
Right.
That you stole my idea.
Right.
Or like I'll sit there and I'll start writing a short story, and then that will happen in the news.
Right.
Like
wow.
Remember the time you called me about the bus accident?
Yes.
And I had already heard it in my head, but I
Yes.
just didn't know where it was going to be. So I get a lot of those channeled types of messages. I get messages from Spirit in advance.
Wow.
So I already know, like if I'm going to go for a gallery reading like that where there's 100 people in the room, I'll start writing down names. I'll start writing down messages,
before you get
signs.
there.
Yep. And it will resonate for somebody. So I wanted to give this to other mediums.
Yeah.
So that, especially young mediums that are out there, because it's not the same type of mediumship where people started, where you would just be like reading in your basement for people that knew about you.
Right.
Now we have
right.
a lot more. We have the YouTube channels, we have social media, we have TikTok, we have fairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's out there a lot more than it is.
Yes.
And I think that, especially for a developing medium,
Yeah.
they should be writing down, where they were when they did the reading. What did Spirit show you? What images, signs came through? How did you feel during the reading?
Yeah.
So you learn to start to recognize
what does
it.
the back say on the book?
Oh, let your heart be a vessel of love and your spirit a beacon of light, guiding you on your journey. May the magic of the universe forever accompany you.
Nice.
So, this book, and it's not just, and then I also realized that it's not, and then that's my logo in the back, the half skull with the half face and the butterflies. I love it. Because that's, to me, we didn't have anything for mediums.
Right.
This is a one-of-a-kind journal. You're not going to find this anywhere. Because normally it's just a journal.
Right.
It's just a journal with blank pages, but this is actually designed.
Is specific.
Specific. And it's also specific for people who want to get messages from Spirit.
And it's something you wish you had, and then that's why you really created it.
Right. And because it would be something that's a little bit more organized.
Right.
Of course, nothing's ever organized and perfect.
Right.
But
it's less chaotic.
It's less chaotic because then I could go back and I could look and see, like when somebody calls me and says, hey, who came through for me, or I didn't get a chance to write that down, or what were the messages, or whatever it was.
Right.
But it's not even for that. It's more for me learning how I'm feeling, who I'm reading for, what Spirit is showing me. It's helping me to organize and build my toolbox. And for a regular person who just wanted to pick this up and be like, all right, I am open to communicating with my loved one as their spiritual self now.
Right.
And I'm going to learn to allow them to give me signs that they're going to give me. Either I will ask them to show me something specific, or I will allow them to implant a sign into my head, and I'm going to write down when I saw it. I'm going to write down where I was. I'm going to write down what else they showed me, how I was feeling. If I pulled cards, write down those cards. Because people really want to communicate with the other side. They really do.
Of course.
And there's a lot of, there's really good psychic mediums out there. And then there's also people who will just copy and paste the same type of reading. And I see it all the time.
Yeah.
But I did this so that people
more of a generic type of reading.
And then when I go out in public to do gallery readings like that, my goal is to educate people. First of all, to make them laugh.
Yes.
Because you need to laugh. You need to laugh. It's nothing funny, but you need to kind of laugh a little bit.
Death is part of life, and
it is.
And you know what it is? It's to connect and find the joy. And my whole thing is which I think I've asked you a long time ago with Betsy. It's like, when do you not think of a loved one and get sad, and then you start remembering.
Don't get sad.
You start remembering the happier times and smile.
Exactly, because that's what they want you to do.
Right.
Because the spirit world influences us more than we know that it does.
Yeah.
And if we were really, and that's what I'm trying to hopefully open people up, so that they understand and they have more understanding and more empathy, towards certain situations and people that they meet in their life.
Yeah.
Because,
Now, what about signs like finding change on the floor, or a feather, or a license plate? You know how like
Yes.
sometimes things hit you in the face and you're like, what was that?
Exactly. Well, sometimes spirit can use anything that moves, anything that has energy, anything that talks, anything that an animal. It could use anything.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if you have assigned the sign,
Right.
oh, I know this is my grandmother because I keep finding dimes all over the place. Right?
Yeah.
I know it's my grandmother.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But also
Right.
the number 10. So if you were to see the number 10 on a license plate, that could also mean that's your grandma. But you could also ask her and say, hey, grandma, if, say you're having a problem, hey,
Right,
grandma,
right,
should
right.
I open up this store?
Right. Right.
If the answer is yes,
Yeah.
show me a 10.
Okay.
And then just let it go.
Right.
Same thing as manifesting. Set it and forget it. It's
Okay.
a crock pot. Set it and forget it.
I
right?
like that.
Don't burn it.
It's a crock pot.
It's a crock pot. But, you know, so then you would just wait for that 10 to, and you would be shocked
Yeah.
at what actually happens and what goes on. I'll give you a story. So over the summer, I was driving the kids to camp.
Yeah.
And not my kids, by the way. Not my kids, just kids to camp, okay? And I didn't really have an idea that I could allow spirit to give me a sign.
Okay.
I thought I had to ask.
Okay.
So I said, oh, okay, I'm open. Okay. First sign that comes to mind, an elephant. An elephant. I saw an elephant in my head.
Okay.
With its ears puffed out, just an elephant. I said, okay, spirit, we'll wait for the elephant. Okay. 5 minutes later, the counselor gets on the bus, and I hear her talking to one of the kids. And she went to a basketball game the night before. And the kid said to her, oh, did you see the elephant? I was like, wow.
Wow.
But then I asked Spirit a question.
Right.
I said, because I was supposed to do like a midday shift, but I also had a ton of things I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I was debating on whether I should just not do that and just go do what I have to do. I had to go to the doctor, I had to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, should I do the midday or should I just go handle what I have to handle? So I was just thinking about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided to go handle what I have to handle. I walk into the car wash because my car was covered in like filth.
Yeah.
I walk into the car wash and on the desk was 3 elephants.
Get out.
Swear to God. Take a picture of it next time I'm there.
Wow.
I told you, we can't say that on TV.
No, we
I
can't.
have another story.
We can't
you
say
can hit me
that.
up for another story about what
As a matter of fact,
crazy thing
if you
I
want to hit
manifested.
Kristen up for a reading, or hire her for a party or
Yes,
any,
I
or
do
anything,
psychic nights. I do.
You could
all
go to her
website,
which is
KristenTinsley.com.
That's right, and that's where all the information is there that you can find.
Yeah.
So how does diet play
Oh, yes.
into? Well, you know what? No, wait. Let's take my next break. When we come back, we're going to talk about diet.
We're going to talk
because
about that.
We're going into 2025, and everyone makes their New Year's resolution to get
Coming up
healthy,
tomorrow.
get fit. So you know what? When we come back, we're going to talk about diet, okay? We'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Tea Time with Theresa Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook. Tea Time with Theresa Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm with my girl Kristen Tinsley. That's right, she does it all. She's an author, she's a psychic medium, she's a certified holistic nutritionist. also, which is very, very, very impressive.
Yes.
Because I remember when she was studying for this stuff. Transformational spiritual life coach. And so before the break, we talked about dieting. And, you know, let's just face it, you know, we all look better with our clothes on, most of us. Most of us look better with our clothes on. But when you look in the mirror naked and you're thinking, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. And you really can't change too much. But you can change your way of thinking when it comes to food and dieting. And I don't call it a diet anymore. I'll call it a lifestyle change because diets work for the moment when you're on them. And then when you go off, you go back to your old eating habits. And then that's how you become a yo-yo dieter, which I was my whole life. So it is a lifestyle change. It's something that you have to like consciously be aware of and stop and think before you put food in your mouth, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's exhausting, but it's something that I know I have to do. I just can't eat, I have to prepare meals. I have to try to, you know, I'll make a bigger thing of tuna fish so I know I have it in the fridge, and like that kind of thing, you know, yogurt and whatever.
You have to have,
you know, you know, because you know I'm all about the high protein, low carb thing. That's what I do. But tell everyone about dieting and that the new Moon weight loss program.
Okay. I will. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Okay.
So here's the. I'm just going to come out and say it publicly, but spirits can influence our thinking when it comes to food. They can also make us crave things. And they can also block us and get in the way of exercise. So when you say, my grandmother made me eat that cupcake, you're actually on point. It is. Because when, you know, we have to think in terms of the spirit world of how they can, if they influenced you here on earth, they can also influence you on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
And food is one of our greatest sources of energy.
Yes.
Food, if you don't give your body food, what are you going to focus on? Food.
Yeah.
So that is like a meditative trance that we are in all the time. And if you don't make those agreements with the other side, they can influence your eating. I'll give you an example because I know it sounds crazy. This was something I had to put together. I was reading for a client, and it was towards the end of the reading, and she says to me, I see that you're a nutritionist, right? And people probably looking at me like, you should be giving anybody nutritional advice, like you're a big girl. Yeah, I'm a big woman, okay? I'm big. But I have lost over 300 pounds.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
so
that,
we're not,
too.
Exactly. So don't, anyway.
Right. She's been through a journey.
Been through a journey, okay? And you don't have to be skinny to give people advice. Anyway,
that's true.
It's the biggest truth. So she says to me, I'm intensely craving pizza every single day.
Okay.
When I leave work, I have to go hunt down a pizzeria.
Okay.
It's every day, it's constant. And
wow.
I knew exactly what she was talking about.
Okay.
Because I had been in those habits for years. Right around my birthday, I had to go find a certain birthday cake. I was on a mission to find these birthday cakes. It had to be a certain type, and I never knew why.
Right.
So as she's talking, I get the image in my head of a pizzeria, which most people would think, all right, that's pretty common. Someone's talking about pizza. You're going to envision the pizzeria. No, I envisioned 3 men in a pizzeria. I got it assigned. 3 men. They were making pizza, making sauce, all that stuff. So I said to her, by any chance, did you have anybody in the family who owned a pizzeria?
Okay.
She said, she thought for a second. She said, I have 3 uncles, an uncle and 2 cousins that owned a pizzeria, but I never met them.
Really?
It doesn't matter. It's them.
Yeah.
I said, do me a favor. We have to clear this. We have to make it. They're trying to get a hold of you.
Okay.
They're trying to communicate with you to let you know that they're there.
Wow.
And food is the way that they can do. Otherwise, or they just tell you to eat crap pizza. I don't know.
Right.
So I said, do yourself a favor. Go to the food store today. Break that habit.
Yeah.
Go to the food store today. Get yourself some pizza dough. Get yourself sauce or make a sauce, whatever, and make a pizza.
Right.
And eat it and tell them, I'm honoring you as I eat this.
Wow.
I'm open to receiving the messages that you have for me. Or just accepting your love and guidance and letting me know that you're there.
Yeah.
So, because what's pizza? Like I've said before, the foods that we eat are indicative of an emotion that we're trying to process.
Right.
So if she was upset about a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah, yeah.
things
Yeah.
and scared about family medical history. So who would be coming through?
Right, right.
After she did that, cravings gone.
So my grandmother loved vanilla ice cream, and I just happened to buy some on Saturday.
Well, why? But see, why would Grandma be around?
I don't know. She's always around me.
Right, because
my
the
grandma's
holidays.
always.
But
that too.
You're honoring her.
Yeah, yeah,
So when
yeah.
you say, but see, you have control over it.
Yes, you do.
Some people don't have control over the food addictions. I'm
Yeah.
talking about very intense cravings. And once you identify, like when I do the New Moon program, that's what it's called, New Moon Transformational Program.
Right.
So, and I'm actually going to be having a free webinar on January 13th.
Awesome.
For people to learn about this, because I do realize that this is a new concept. This is not something that, people are, would even be aware of.
Right.
Like I had somebody brought up the 3H. Somebody watched my old show, The Fresh Sleeve of Bariatrics, and they brought up the 3 H's, and I changed it. It was, does it make you happy? Is it healthy? Or is it haunting you? So you can actually recognize these types of cravings and these food drives.
Right.
To know who's trying to get in touch with you and what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I personally know when I had weight loss surgery, and afterwards I was craving peanut butter like crazy.
Really?
I was stopping for peanut butter like everywhere I went. I would constantly think about it all the time. It was in my head. I could taste it. I wanted it, like just constantly.
Wow.
And then after I did that reading for that woman, I realized, I said, oh, that was my father. Because he loved peanut butter. My dad was a big guy.
Right.
He died from diabetes.
Yeah.
That's all I knew that my whole life.
Right.
Because I wasn't raised with him.
Right.
That he was a big lover of food. So our connection here on earth, because
Right.
a person doesn't have to be dead
Right.
for you to connect to them.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So our connection here on earth was food, even though we were apart from each other. And when he passed over, it was still food. But as soon as I had that weight loss surgery, it triggered him. Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get in touch with you anymore.
Right.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to satisfy my cravings through you.
Yeah.
And I said, and that's when I made that agreement with him. I said, because before that, no jar of peanut butter was safe in my house. The bigger, the better, honey. Okay?
Well, you mentioned before about losing over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And we have a pic.
Oh, God.
We do have a pic. We have a before and after pic that you posted. So this is, and you approve this. So
Oh, yeah.
just leave that there for a second. Now, was that at your heaviest?
Oh, yeah.
It was at your
in the
heaviest.
purple, yeah.
Thank you.
In the purple,
That was
yeah.
at your heaviest.
It definitely was.
And then the after.
And then after, like that picture, I would say that I was a little bit slimmer up top because I was walking a lot at that time.
Right.
And I had to take, and then I did not have the tummy tuck at that time, but I had to take a little bit of time off because I had a tummy tuck. It was hard to work out after that. But also there's so much swelling that happens within the body after a tummy tuck.
Yes.
And then all the skin.
Yep.
That a lot of what you see, this bulkiness, a lot of it is just skin.
Right.
But to have to put your body through those surgeries was intense. You were there. Like it was very intense having a tummy tuck, having your body cut like that. There's only so much that you can do.
Absolutely.
So I've changed that, and I said, all right, well, I'm going to give myself 1.5 years to build as much muscle as I can.
Right.
So I went for my certification for weightlifting for fat loss.
Right.
So that's also part of the New Moon program because
Yeah.
weightlifting is more effective than cardio.
Right.
And it's a lot more.
Because muscle helps your metabolism.
It does. It
And
speeds
it
up-
also,
yes, it does.
but it weighs more than fat. So if you're building muscle and the scale goes up, don't freak out.
Don't
about
freak
it.
out. People get freaked out by that. I know when my weight is going down, and I don't have to lift for long,
Right.
to get that back. But there's still, like I said, I'm a big person,
Right.
So
I mean, you're,
it's never
you're
gonna,
tall.
right? It's
You're,
not
I mean,
gonna
how
be
tall
like
are
that.
you?
I'm 5'10".
She's 5'10".
Yeah, so it's
Right,
not
she
gonna
does
be.
not have. She's not vertically
I am
challenged.
not a small
like
person.
me.
Right.
But
I'm big
but
shoulders, all that.
that is an unbelievable transformation.
Yeah.
I
mean that's and I could even fit in that picture. That picture doesn't actually do it justice to what it really was.
Right.
And at that specific time in my life,
Yeah.
I was not practicing. I
Right.
was not listening to my intuition.
Right,
I was
right.
keeping myself stuck in a situation that I had no business being in.
Right.
And that I was not anywhere where I needed to be in my life. So when I
Yeah.
teach people with New Moon, and the reason why it's called New Moon is because I believe that moon energy is the energy that you could use, the universal energy that you could use as a backup,
Right.
if not the leading force.
Yeah.
To help your manifestations to come to come true, because there's certain times that you should be doing things, and then there's certain times that you shouldn't be. And when you're focusing and you're changing the story, because I had to change the story of my life.
You did.
Because
drastically.
for all of that time, it was, you're never going to lose weight. You can't do anything until you're skinny. You can't, don't even talk, don't move, don't breathe, don't leave the house. Just stay in the house until you're skinny. And those weren't even my beliefs. That was society's belief.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of fat shaming. There's a lot of people, and we know this. That there's a lot of.
But there's no perfect.
There is no perfect. No, absolutely
When
not.
I went into the plastic surgeon's office and I went to a very honest plastic surgeon, he said to me, he says, Kristen, listen, you have beautiful shoulders. He goes, you have these beautiful legs. I wouldn't touch these legs, leaving them alone.
Right.
He said, I could fix your arms, I could take the skin off, but it's not going to look the way you think it's going to look.
Right. Because we have a picture in
You're
our
not going to have
mind.
those really skinny.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Right.
I get it.
So you could keep hacking and cutting. But why I'm focusing on that and putting my life on pause to heal,
Right.
what is not being successful? Books are not being published. I'm not walking on stage to help other people.
Right.
I'm not telling jokes. I'm not doing readings.
And now you are.
Right. But I had to clear all that out.
Right.
Because when you focus on your life path
Yeah.
and what you're supposed to do, because Jesus said to me, I don't care if you look good in a bikini. I want you on your life path.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I said, well, show me the way.
Right.
And it's the truth.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because when I stood on that scale and it said 605 pounds, I was like, all right, I know I only have 400 more pounds to go before 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
But I decided, I said, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Right. But it's gonna.
But I'm gonna. And then as soon as I started to focus on my life.
Yeah.
And my goals and my career, and
that's when everything started falling into place.
Yep. And then the weight loss happens naturally because it becomes systematic. It becomes the new thing.
Right.
Once you clear all that out, and that's what I do as a medium.
Yeah.
I help people with that. And it works.
Yeah, it works. I can tell you it works. You know what works? My last break. We're gonna go to my last break. Wow, this is going so fast. But don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrell.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrell.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrell.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrell.
Doc, who's your favorite guinea?
Teresa Farrell.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrell.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Hey, who you loving right now? Theresa Farrell. Welcome back. I'm here. Kristen Tinsley's here.
Yeah.
We have like 10 minutes left, Kristen. But I want everyone to know again, KristenTinsley.com. That's where you go. That's where you find everything. That's how you contact her. Yeah. Definitely do a reading. Just and get an idea of what 2025 is going to be like for you. You know what I mean?
Definitely, because you want to know.
It's very important to journal. It's important to manifest.
Yeah.
These are certain things that, Now, I think the last pick, I'm not too sure.
I know, I think that was
that
it.
the last one?
Oh, that was a book. You don't have to gain the weight back.
That was something else that you also
I wrote that. Yes, I wrote that.
Dabbled in
the process of changing that, or maybe just taking that away.
Thank you.
And just leading with my 600-pound afterlife. That's the new book that's coming out.
I love it.
Don't you love it?
I love it.
It's all talking about that. And when I had weight loss surgery, when I had weight loss medication, because some people need to be on that medication. I've had PCOS, thyroid problems, my whole life. Like when you have issues with your body where it just doesn't function the way it's supposed to, and there's something out there that can help you. Like I ask Santa Claus for this every year since I'm a kid, and if I can have it. But I learned a lot about how to manage that more while you're on the medication, because it's not just about not eating. When you're not eating, you're putting your body in perpetual starvation mode.
Correct.
And it will make you make up for it eventually.
Yep.
Okay, so that's why I wrote that book.
Doesn't work.
You don't have to gain the weight back. But, my 600-pound afterlife, which all of my books will be on Amazon. All of them, Amazon.com, or you can go to my website. You can just look under the books tab, and the links are there.
Yeah.
But just Google Kristen Tinsley.
Let's talk about this one real quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
While we're talking about books. It's called Create Your Own Superhero Comic Book.
Oh, yes. So this I did for fun because, and I also have another journal for kids, the Unicorn Mermaid journal and coloring book. But I did this as like a tribute to my creativity, and also when I found out that a lot of children, because I love children. Children are the inspiration of everything.
Yeah.
That a lot of children struggled with reading and writing. And I'm like, writing was the one thing that always made me happy as a kid.
Right.
I love to read. I love to write. I like to create.
Right. And use your imagination.
Right. And I want to be able to teach kids
how to use their imagination.
So it has all the writing prompts in there
That's
that you
so
could,
cool.
It goes through the whole hero's journey
Nice.
as literature, with creative writing as it presents it. And the kids could actually, and then they could write it, and then they could draw their story.
And what does it say on the back of that one?
What is your superhero story? How will you save the world, and who will help them? Create your own superhero story and draw them to life.
That's so cool.
And I dedicated it to the kids that are on my bus, because I'm a school bus driver in my real life.
Nice.
Yep, I dedicated it to my kids because, they were like, well, what else do you do besides drive a bus? And I'm like, I'm a writer. And I'm a creator. I like to do creative stuff. And they were like, oh, yeah, prove it. So, and that's what, so,
great.
I enjoy doing that and giving people, because this also helps with manifesting. When you write down a story and you start to manifest it.
Yeah.
Because what is literature? What is reading? What is watching movies? This is why you have to be very careful with what you watch and what you listen to. All you true crime people out there, I see you.
Yeah.
Okay, because I love it too. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
I like to guess like who the killer is, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're watching and you're reading things, even listening to music can influence your manifestations. Mm-hmm. So you have to be very careful what you're focusing on.
Well, how important is it to have a positive mindset?
Very. But it is. And don't beat yourself up if you don't have a positive mindset all the time.
Right.
Because
it's kind of unrealistic.
It's not even unrealistic, but just as human beings.
Yeah, we go through crap.
Right, we do. We go through a lot of stuff, and also we are hardwired to be negative. So.
Right. Yeah.
But for every negative thought that you have.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
And spin it around.
Right.
And that's why I like the I am.
I like that.
It's
I like
very
the I
powerful.
am. And tell them January 13th what you're doing again.
Okay, so January 13th, I'm going to put it up on Facebook, and also you can also just email me. My email address is on my website. For the New Moon Transformational Seminar, I'm going to be teaching you my methods that I use with my clients to help them to rewrite the story of their old beliefs. Because we do have old beliefs inside of us, like really getting to the root cause of why you're being blocked in different areas of your life. And this is all completely guided. Everything is written out. There's no guesswork to it. There's workouts in there. There's, different, I'll show you the perfect diet that you have that's already inside of you. Like, wouldn't you just love to just have that just done for you and just taking away the stress of having to figure out, go on to the next fad, or what's Sally next door doing, or what's this Instagram influence trying to sell us, or, what is this? Like, this is the real deal manifesting using universal, spiritually guided energy to change your life.
Yeah.
And it's a great journey. So, yeah.
That's good. No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
love it.
We're not going yet because I still have a little time, but I want to thank everyone for watching Tea Time and really just supporting me, and it's really been a great 2024. What are you looking forward to in 2025?
I'm looking forward to doing more public speaking.
Okay.
About mediumship, doing more public gallery readings. I do have a show that I do. It's called Ghost to Giggles.
Yes.
We're going to be doing it coming up pretty soon. Where are we doing it? We're doing it at the Curry House in Port Jefferson.
Okay.
And then we're also doing it at Allegro Bar and Grill in West Hempstead.
Nice.
I have an appearance coming up at Yoga Mosha in Huntington.
She's busy.
Yeah, I'm very busy.
Which is
and then I
great.
have a bunch of, and then I'm going to start to branch out to other states. Like I want to go travel to,
I know.
To other places.
I know.
Like what is stopping me?
That's
There's
it.
literally
Nothing.
nothing stopping me.
No.
I can hop on a plane on a weekend and be back on a Sunday night. Like I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm very excited, very pumped up for that.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to meet all the new people that I'm going to and see how much I can impact people and change it, because it means a lot to me.
Because I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you because,
Thank you.
like I said, I met you when I met you, and you know you had all these goals and all these dreams, and you really accomplished everything you
see
set
it.
out to do.
Yep, and that's why I tell
know?
people. I don't tell people everything.
No, you
But
don't.
I tell people it's not like I don't have to tell you.
No.
You can sit back and watch. That's another thing. Don't tell people what you're manifesting. I know it says, you know, somebody will tell you like, oh, tell people that you're starting a diet because you want them to hold you accountable. Don't do that. Keep it to yourself. Let your results, because everybody's different.
Speaks for
Let your
themselves,
results
right?
speak for
Yeah.
yourself. You don't have anything to prove to anybody
Exactly, except for yourself.
except for yourself
Yeah.
and
That's true.
spirit.
That's
Because
true.
they're watching. If you ask, they want to make sure that you can handle it. And some people just chalk it down to, oh, well, you know, then just give me the lottery numbers. And I laugh at that because I'm like, yep, exactly. Because they're like,
give me the
well,
lottery
what would you do?
numbers.
Because they
Come
know that if
on.
you give it to Bob, Susie, Jessica, Kevin, Bob, Susie, Jessica, Kevin are going to do
Right.
X, Y, and Z with that
Right,
money, and it's
right.
going to cause a problem.
Right. Well, we got a minute left. Is there anything specifically you want to?
I love you, and thank you for having me on your show.
I love you.
I love you, girl.
I love you.
Yeah, we've been through the most.
Through hell and back. We have.
We have.
We have.
We have. But hey, listen, we're here.
But
we're
I'm blessed.
alive. We're
I'm
well.
blessed that
Yes.
God put Kristen in my life because
God bless you,
I believe
Theresa.
there are no accidents in life.
Never.
Things happen for a reason. And, you know, and at the moment they might be happy things and at the moment they may be very upsetting things. But you
get
get through it.
Yep.
Everyone gets through
get
it.
through it.
And you know what? I am so happy you tuned in tonight. My last show of 2024. I am so looking forward to a healthy, blessed, did I say healthy? Healthy, blessed, and
Happy New Year.
prosperous,
Healthy, blessed, abundant,
happy
wealthy.
and healthy 2025 for everybody.
Yes.
I will see everyone next week. Remember, tell everyone you love them. Ciao.
Bye.